What is up, all of my horror fanatics out there? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. I'm the Late Night Frights horror leader, the J. Sloan or Jordan, back here to do another video for you. And as always, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. Last week we did a theme, and if you haven't checked that out yet, please go do so. It was a great week overall. We did our Stephen King adaptation theme, where each of us reviewed an adaptation from the classic, masterful Stephen King, my favorite author, and just a great week, so please go check it out. So this week we are doing horror battles, and the two films that I chose to battle are both really good and really interesting horror films. I enjoyed both, yeah, let's dive in. The first one here is The Midnight Meat Train versus The Collector. Okay, so you guys know how we do things here on Late Night Frights. Before I battle these two horror films to the death, I'm going to be reviewing both very briefly, and then I'll get to the battle. So I'm going to start off by reviewing The Midnight Meat Train, which was made in 2008. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the director's name because I can't. It's a weird name, so I'm not even going to try, and I'm not going to screw up there. But it is starring Bradley Cooper and Vinnie Jones, and I believe this is an adaptation. Yeah, an adaptation from one of Clive Barker's books, I guess you could say, or his short stories. One that I haven't read, but after seeing the movie, I really want to read it. The basic plot of this one follows a character named Leon Kaufman, who is a photographer who loves to photograph dark subject matter. Anything dark, he loves to do it. But he can't really seem to get a good grip on it. He can't seem to find his place as a photographer, and he can't get, sell any pictures. There's a little story, I guess you could say, that opens up, or a little opportunity for him that opens up, but he has to find something that's deeper and darker, and it leads him into the subway, where he starts to see a pattern of murders going on down in the subway by a subway murderer, and he keeps diving in and diving deeper, trying to find out what is going on in the subway. Who is this murderer? Why is he doing this? And why is he changing himself along the way? It's very weird, very wacky movie, one that I really enjoy, and it wasn't weird like Goofy. It took itself very seriously, and I admire that in horror films. Some films are just not meant to take themselves seriously. Adding that perfect balance of comedy and horror is good in some films, and this one, it took itself seriously, and I loved it. I just liked the wacky plot to it. It had a thick plot. Really, I did not know where this was going to end, and it was really weird. Seeing as it is a Clive Barker adaptation, you can kind of see an ending inside if you think about it. I considered this at first to be something way different than I'd ever seen from a Clive Barker adaptation or a film before, and it kind of went back a little bit on that, and that took a little bit away of my likeness of the film, and I won't spoil anything, but that is the basic plot of it. This photographer, Leon Kaufman, is trying to find out what is going on down in the subway, and he gets his answers, and he really should not have dug that deep. Really liked the film, liked the directing, liked the casting, the acting. There's a few weird scenes in this one, not with the horror subject, but just a few things with Bradley Cooper that, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Really weird scene in a diner that I wasn't sure about. It was just a little bit weird. I know me, Chris, and Jeremy have seen this film together, and we were all kind of shocked at the scene. I'm not going to spoil it, but really weird scene. Vinnie Jones did a really, really good job. Obviously he plays a really creepy character. You can see him there. He's creepy in every movie I've ever seen him in. Like, literally, he plays that role to a T, and it's got a really good backstory. Even though I was a little bit upset at the end of the film with the outcome, I still enjoyed it. I was upset because it really didn't break that mold like I wanted it to. I wanted it to be something different than Clive Barker ever did, and it was kind of throughout the film, and then the ending just kind of took that away and really let you know that that is a Clive Barker film or adaptation. So, directing was good, although I cannot pronounce the director's name for the life of me. I'm not going to try, guys. Really good shots, like I said. One problem I did have with this, and I will talk about this very briefly, and I'll talk about it during the battle as well, digital blood. Not a huge fan. If you can use practical effects, use them as much as you can. Practical is the best way to go. Me being a aspiring director, I guess you could say, I love to direct films. Both myself, Chris Brock, and Jeremy all love to direct films and do our own little short films. We have our Walking Dead fan series. We rarely use digital blood if we don't have to. So digital blood in this was very, very high. There was some scenes where, you know, there was some pretty cool practical effects, but just scenes that was unnecessary to use digital blood should not have been used. But that was an issue. Other than that, really enjoyed the film. Was it great? No. Was it good? Yes. And if I had to rate it out of 5, I'm going to go 3.9 out of 5. Enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. So there's my review over the Midnight Meat Train. Okay, so now I'm going to move on and review The Collector, which was made in 2009. And this one follows a character named Arkin, who is your average handyman. He's got a family to support. He doesn't make much money. And we quickly realize that Arkin is not just a handyman, he is also a con man who can break into houses. He has a big lockpick kit, and he makes a little bit of spare money to the side by doing that. Well, he gets bad, I believe he gets bad in debt, and he needs money. He has to have this certain amount of money. If he doesn't have it, something very bad is going to happen. So he sees a house that he's been working on, you know, help doing little things around this house and construction work and things like that. He sees this house, he knows the family that lives in it are rich, and he also knows that they are actually going out of town on vacation. So he knows that is a open invitation for him to, you know, intrude their home, go in, steal what they have, get what he needs, and he will be set. So he decides that is exactly what he's going to do. He goes inside, and everything seems just a little bit off. Maybe too good to be true. He gets up to the safe, starts unlocking the safe, and soon hears the door slam behind him, and hears locks go all up and down the door, and he is locked inside this house. But with who and why, that is to be found out. He soon realizes he is locked inside this house with a collector, and this collector does not want the money, doesn't want the items within the house. He wants the people. That's all I'm going to say about this one, guys. I really enjoyed this one through my first watch, and I've seen it multiple times since then, and I really do like it. There's a fan base. Some love it, some hate it. I like it a lot. Do I think it's a fantastic horror movie? No, I really don't. On the back here it says a new horror icon is born. Do I think that? No, I don't. It's very interesting. It was different. You know, made in 2009. Not many good horror films were coming out during that time. And not many did. The Collector was one I enjoyed from start to finish. I thought it was very good, very creepy with the Collector and his reasoning for why he collects these people, and you know, trying to pick between these people and why he does it is very good. I did enjoy the Collector over the Collection. Some people don't. Me personally, I did. I like both, but just personally, I think the Collector was a little bit better than the Collection. But the atmosphere in this movie, set in the house almost entirely, it works, and it does it well. Some films can't pull it off. This one did. I love the little traps that set out throughout the house. You know, specifically the traps that Arkin has to encounter. One with the telephone that really was crazy. I'll go ahead and say it. There's a nail inside the telephone. He puts a nail to his ear, and he doesn't know there's a nail inside. It goes in his ear. He pulls back blood. One where he sticks his hand through a window. I'm not going to say any more, but there is tons of traps within this house. The Collector definitely knows what they are doing, and it's just really creepy. Great atmosphere, great direction. The acting really good. I like the character who played Arkin, and the little family inside who, you know, some things may happen with that family. They all were very realistic. I liked everything. I liked the kills, liked the setting, liked the direction, liked the casting. Everything about this one I highly enjoyed. You know, agree or disagree with me, I enjoyed it, but you may not. I know some people don't. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I really enjoyed The Collector. Okay, now that I've reviewed both films, it is time to battle them to the death, starting with round 1. Kills. Which film do I think had better kills? Now, you know, there was multiple kills in each film. I'm going to go ahead and say that I enjoyed the kills in The Collector a little bit better. They were very creative. I love the traps in the house. I've already mentioned that before in my review over the film. And what can I say? I just enjoyed the kills a little bit better in The Collector. Round 2, story and originality. Which film do I think had a better story and was overall more original? Now, I really like the story from Clive Barker in The Midnight Meat Train, and I also like the story in The Collector. It's very interesting about a person who collects people. Thought that was really cool, really interesting. This one was original. I hadn't seen that done. And this one, once again, towards the ending, felt like a Clive Barker film. I'm going to go with The Collector once again for round 2. Really liked the story in a whole. Thought it blended very well together. The acting enhanced that story, directing, shots, the cinematographer, everything about the movie. I enjoyed the writing. It's just a good movie. It really is just a really good horror film, and I really liked. It was a different story, something I hadn't seen before. Let me just say that. So, The Collector takes round 2. Round 3, blood, guts, and gore, and effects. Which film do I think had better blood, guts, and gore? Now, even though there was some digital use in Midnight Meat Train, I'm going to go with the Midnight Meat Train. It was a very, very gory movie, especially towards the end, and I really enjoyed that. I think it had to be done within this story. Some films have unnecessary gore that just makes no sense for it to be there. This one needed it, and it, used it well. I can get over the digital blood, although I feel like they should have just used practical blood. It's not practical fake blood, I guess I should say. It's just, it didn't make sense why they would use digital blood for those types of scenes. But oh well, they did it, and it didn't look too bad, but you could definitely tell. So, even though I'm going to give round 3 to the Midnight Meat Train for having better blood, guts, and gore. Alright guys, round 4, personal enjoyment and replayability. Which film do I personally enjoy more, and which film would I pop in right now and watch? And I'm going to go ahead and say The Collector. So, The Collector, I did personally enjoy this one more. I would pop this one in and watch it right now. Same with both. I mean, I would pop this one in too. I like this movie, but I think The Collector wins just by a hair. So, that is the final round. There's no need to go any further. The Collector has won this battle. It has taken the cake. It's come out on top. And it has defeated the Midnight Meat Train. That's not to say the Midnight Meat Train is not a good film. It really is. I enjoyed it. It's just not as good to me as The Collector. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's been my horror battle over The Collector versus the Midnight Meat Train. Please comment down below and tell me your thoughts and opinions on both of these films. I'm really curious to hear everyone's outcome, their opinion. What will win in your horror battle, The Collector or the Midnight Meat Train? Stay tuned, guys. Tomorrow, Chris Brock will be battling 2 films of his choice, and that will continue throughout the week with all of our members. I'm the Jay Sloan. You just watched Late Night Frights. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, keep it horror. Peace.